Listen, I'm just gonna be open and honest with all of you. I believe that Ted Cruz jerks off into Airbnb shampoo bottles. In fact, I recently heard that Ted Cruz pisses his pants on purpose because he likes the warm, wet feeling against his legs. I don't like Ted Cruz. I've never liked him. The reason why I'm crapping on Ted Cruz is because of this clip I saw on Twitter yesterday. Take a look.
Tragedies like the events of this week are a mirror, forcing us to ask hard questions, demanding that we see where our culture is failing. Looking at broken families, absent fathers, declining church attendance, social media bullying, violent online content, desensitizing the act of murder in video games, chronic isolation, prescription drug and opioid abuse, and their collective effects on the psyche of young Americans.
I'm not gonna shit on Ted for saying, you know, opioids and drugs are bad. Like, alright, yeah, they're terrible, and they can ruin people's lives and make people do terrible things. Drugs that can kill people are bad. And also, you know, the sad reality is that broken families exist. Kids grow up in homes without fathers, and sometimes that's bad, and sometimes it doesn't really matter. But obviously, a young person is likely going to grow up better in a healthier environment. Cyberbullying is bad too. Those are very valid points. Those are real problems that we need to deal with. But the fact that this man just casually said that video games are desensitizing the act of murder to people and also claimed that the lack of church attendance is also to blame for mass shootings, you could see why I just think he's an idiot. Yeah, because killing a bunch of ones and zeros in a video game sure does make me desensitized to murder. Actually, the thing that is desensitizing all of us are constant mass shootings. There has been over 200 shootings in the United States this year, and at this point, a lot of us just see the news and move on with our day, which is totally not supposed to be normal. That's because they happen so often, so we're just kind of like, yeah, you know, whatever, which is just unfortunate. And then I saw the Texas Department of Public Safety chief make a statement claiming that the fucker that shot up that elementary school in Uvalde, Texas was into, and I quote, cyber gaming. And unfortunately, because of these comments being made, there's already journalists in the media writing up articles right now talking about how video games are the sole reason why these unfortunate events happen, and how video games apparently cause people to be violent, which is just complete bullshit. Last time I checked, video games are available globally, depending on the country that you live in, of course. Video games don't just exist in the United States, they exist around the entire globe, and every other country around the world where video games are sold do not have a big mass shooting problem compared to the United States. Let me tell you guys something. If some old guy comes up to you and says that cyber gaming is bad and will make you violent, walk away, because they're a fucking idiot. If they're calling video games cyber gaming, that should be enough for you to understand that this person is completely out of touch. It annoys the ever-living bejesus out of me when these politicians who are so out of touch with the American people and these fucking old dudes use something like video games as their scapegoat, as if video games are directly linked to mass shootings. Over 160 million copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 sold since it released in 2013. Yeah, you tell that to one of those suit-wearing douchebags, they'll probably tell you something like, oh, that means 160 million mass shootings are going to occur. I'm so glad I'm not the only creator who saw the video of Ted Cruz at the convention speaking about video games and mass shootings and immediately thought, wow, this guy is a fucking idiot. Look, if you like Ted Cruz and you're watching my videos, hey, that's on you. You could unsubscribe if I hurt your little feelings. You could also unsubscribe if you think that video games cause violence, because you are also an idiot. Say it with me. Video games do not cause violence. As much as these people, these creatures, these troglodytes that believe that video games are responsible for all violence and mass shootings in America, they're not. There have been countless studies done proving that video games are not the sole responsible reason for violent tendencies in people, and I'm so sick and tired of listening to these old money-hungry douchebags in suits using something not related as a scapegoat and ignoring the real fucking problem and the many plausible solutions to that problem. I'd highly recommend checking out this video by The Game Theorist. It's fantastic, and they take a look at studies and articles from both sides and come to a very solid conclusion about how there is very little evidence to suggest that video games are more likely to get people to commit violence, or that playing video games get people to be more violent. My video today isn't necessarily about going through different studies and coming to a solid conclusion, because again, The Game Theorist did it. Tons of other YouTube channels have done it. There's tons of articles published based on studies. My video is more opinion based, and I'm talking from my own personal experience with video games. And I also just want to make fun of Ted Cruz because I find him to be not human at all. It fucking blows my mind that this man even exists. He's like an NPC. So I've been playing video games since I was a small child, now 22 years old. Let me tell you guys something. When I get my ass handed to me on Call of Duty by some random guy across the country, I don't contemplate harming people in the real world when I lose. I don't create a plan to shock America and the rest of the world. Do you want to know what I do when I lose in a video game? Nothing, because it's a damn video game. I lost a game. Big whoop. Doesn't mean now I'm gonna go out and buy an AR-15 and play target practice with living beings, because that's beyond fucked up. Modern Warfare, for example, doesn't make me violent. I'm the most passive fucking person you will ever meet. I can't hurt anyone. I talk a big game, but at the end of the day, physically hurting someone is not a trait or a gene that I possess. And it makes me sad thinking about that. If anything, video games are like a stress reliever. I have piss poor anxiety, but video games help me forget about the nonsense that I have to deal with every single day. Video games help me forget about my stress, even if it's for like an hour a day. And what blows my mind, what I find to be so incredible, is how out of touch these politicians are with the American people. And when people not living in the United States see this clown, they just laugh at all of us. We're literally the laughing stock of the world because we're the only country who has a mass shooting issue, and these dumb fucks constantly blame things that aren't even related to the main fucking problem. Oh, there's mass shootings? Well, kids need to go to church more. They need to get back in touch with God. They need to read the Bible. Video games are bad. They're making kids violent. Everyone needs to own more guns. How many more people have to die before these people finally get their heads out of their asses and stop ignoring the problem? Seriously, I hate to get political with you guys, and I try not to do it often, but this has been bugging me for the last few hours, and I need to just vent and get it out of my system. I don't like Ted Cruz. I don't like people like Ted Cruz. I can't believe that this man is even a real person. Yeah, okay, if Modern Warfare makes me want to murder people, then how come Madden doesn't make me want to become a football player? How come Cooking Simulator doesn't make me a real chef? Because I have no desire to do any of those things. Because they're games, nothing else. Oh, don't mind me. I'm gonna go throw fucking turtle shells at people's cars because Mario made it look so fun. I'm gonna go hop on a fucking rocket bike with missiles attached to it and blow up a city because Grand Theft Auto 5 made it seem very fun. Shut the fuck up and read a book. I don't know, I just wanted to make this video because, again, I wanted to rant about this. It's been bugging me. I know 99% of you guys are going to agree with me on this, that video games aren't the leading cause of violence in this country. And I'm not out here trying to persuade you guys that guns are bad and we need to ban them. And I'm also not trying to persuade you guys that guns are good and we need to keep them. I'm just letting you guys know that I don't believe video games cause violence, and I trust the thousands of studies done on this topic and the hundreds of videos made on this situation more than this guy. Anyway, if you enjoyed me ranting, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, follow me on all of my social links, and join my Discord server. Links are in the description below. Have a great day, everyone, and remember that Ted Cruz doesn't know anything.